The envelope slipped from her fingers as the words from the family attorney settled in her mind. The board position will go to your sister. She has the right temperament for it. The world around her blurred. The boardroom she had helped build from near bankruptcy to success now felt foreign. Patricia Reynolds sat frozen, staring at the succession plan spreadsheet on her screen, the one where she had logged over 3,000 hours of specialized training. The same document her father once called the roadmap to our future. Now her name was missing. She swallowed the metallic taste in her mouth as reality hit. They had already replaced her on the company letterhead. The business she had saved was no longer hers. Patricia was 31, a business strategist, and a woman who had spent 7 years turning Reynolds Architectural Solutions into an industry leader. While her younger sister, Olivia, floated between vacations and unfinished art degrees, Patricia learned every detail of the trade. When her father suffered his first heart attack, it was she who stepped up, negotiated the Westfield contract, and saved the company from collapse. Her father would often smile proudly, resting a hand on her shoulder. "You're just like me," he'd say, reviewing the reports. "This company will be your legacy someday." Patricia had believed him. That belief was her first mistake. Leonard, the family attorney, cleared his throat. "Your father finalized the changes to the succession plan last week. Olivia will assume the CEO position effective immediately." Patricia blinked, unable to process the words. "That's impossible," she said firmly. "I've been running operations for years." Leonard shifted uncomfortably. "Your father believes Olivia will present a better image. Something about a fresh perspective." Patricia laughed, the sound sharp. "A fresh perspective? She doesn't even know the difference between revenue and profit." That was when Olivia walked in, immaculate in a designer suit Patricia recognized from the company card she'd approved. Behind Olivia stood their father, leaning heavily on his cane, his face drawn but resolute. "Patty," Olivia sing-songed, using the childhood nickname she knew her sister despised. "Don't make this awkward. You'll still have a position here, something less stressful." Patricia looked at her father, searching for an ounce of fairness, but he wouldn't meet her eyes. "It's decided," he said quietly. The board voted unanimously. Patricia's stomach turned. The board, her uncles and cousins, the same men who once nearly destroyed the company. The same ones who had mocked her leadership as too aggressive. She stood, gathering her papers. "You'll regret this," she said. It wasn't a threat.
It was a prophecy.
Her father frowned. "Don't be dramatic, Patricia. This is what's best for the family." She gave him a long, hard look. "For the family? Or for your ego?" His jaw tightened, but she didn't wait for a reply. She walked out of the office, her heels striking the marble floor like war drums. But instead of going home, she went to her private office on the 3rd floor, the one she had built into the nerve center of the company. Every contract, every password, every system connection lived there. If they wanted to erase her, she would make sure they couldn't. That night, the family group chat exploded with photos of champagne glasses and Olivia posing behind her father's old desk. Her mother's message read, "So proud of our CEO daughter." Patricia didn't reply. Instead, she opened her laptop and called up the number of their biggest client, James Westfield. She had once sat by his daughter's hospital bed when the girl battled cancer. He had said to her, "Your father is lucky to have you." Patricia wondered what he'd think now. She dialed his private number, calm determination replacing hurt. "Patricia?" James's warm voice came through the line. "Everything all right?" She smiled faintly. "Not exactly. But I have a proposition. I'm starting my own consulting firm, and I'd like to continue working together." There was a brief pause, then his firm reply, "You have my full support." That was all she needed. The next morning, she arrived at the office early. Security still treated her like the boss. She backed up every project file she had worked on, reset system access, and secured everything she'd built. When Olivia strolled an hours later with a latte in hand, Patricia was waiting. Paragraph 8. Olivia froze. "What are you doing here? I thought you'd be gone by now." Patricia smiled sweetly. "Just finishing some transitions. Congratulations, by the way." Olivia's shoulders relaxed. Thanks, Patty. I know this is hard, but I have big plans. Patricia tilted her head. I'm sure you do. Just a reminder, the Westfield contract renewal is due next week. It's 40% of our annual revenue. Olivia waved her hand dismissively. I'm meeting with them Thursday. Patricia nodded.
Perfect.
Good luck with that. As she turned to leave, she added softly, by the way, passwords reset every 30 days. Today's the 30th. For 2 weeks, Patricia worked quietly from her small apartment. Her newly formed company, Reynolds Strategic Consulting, began taking shape. She'd used her savings and a small business loan to set up a sleek home office. From there, she watched the chaos unfold at Reynolds Architectural Solutions. First came frantic emails about locked files, then panicked calls about lost access, and finally, a desperate voicemail from Leonard. Your sister's drowning, he said. She can't find critical project data. Patricia leaned back, sipping her coffee. I'm sure she'll figure it out, she murmured. When her father finally called, his voice was tight with frustration. Patricia, we need to discuss your return. She smiled to herself. Return? I thought Olivia had everything under control. The Westfield contract, they're pulling out, he admitted. James says he wants to work with you directly. Patricia let the silence stretch before answering. That's unfortunate. His tone hardened. This isn't funny. That contract is half our business. I'm aware, she replied coolly. I negotiated it, remember? What do you want? He asked finally. Patricia let out a quiet laugh. What makes you think I want anything? Because you're my daughter, he said bitterly. You don't walk away. You leverage. She admired his honesty. You're right. I have my own firm now. Westfield, Breener Corp. And the Yeshaw Group have all signed with me. She could almost hear his sharp intake of breath. That's 60% of our revenue, he shouted. You can't do this. Patricia's voice stayed calm. Those clients prefer working with someone who actually knows their projects. This is theft, he hissed. No, she said evenly. This is business. Silence followed. Then his voice, low and strained. What will it take to bring you back? She smiled faintly. Now we're having the right conversation. She drafted her terms that night, not out of greed, but justice. When his car pulled up to her new office days later, she was ready. Her father entered without waiting to be announced. This has gone far enough, he began. Patricia gestured to the chair across from her. Sit.
He did.
The company's collapsing. Your sister can't handle it. The board's panicking. Patricia folded her arms. Not my problem. It's your family, he pressed. Is it? She asked softly. Because when you gave my role to Olivia, it didn't feel that way.
He winced.
That wasn't my intention. Intentions don't rebuild companies, Dad. Actions do. What do you want? He asked again, weary now. She slid a document across the desk. These are my terms. His brows shot up as he read, 60% ownership, CEO title, full board restructuring. This is non-negotiable, she said. You wanted to keep the company in the family. I am family. This is the price. He sighed deeply. And Olivia? Patricia leaned back. She can keep her title for PR, but she reports to me. He studied her for a long moment, eyes narrowing as realization dawned. Then, to her surprise, a small, proud smile. You're more like me than I thought, he said quietly. Patricia met his gaze.
No.
I'm better. Because I'd never betray my own blood for appearances. He hesitated, then signed the document. The board won't like this. The board, she said coldly, doesn't have a choice. 3 days later, Patricia walked through the glass doors of Reynolds Architectural Solutions, now as majority owner and CEO. Employees exchanged relieved glances. Even the receptionist whispered, "Thank God you're back." Olivia was waiting in the office Patricia had reclaimed. Her eyes were red. Happy now, she spat. Patricia set her bag down. That wasn't my goal. But consequences have a way of catching up. You humiliated me, Olivia said bitterly. No, Patricia replied. You humiliated yourself by thinking you could run a company You didn't understand. Be grateful I left you a position. Olivia's voice trembled. This isn't over. Patricia smiled faintly. You're right. It's just beginning. Your first executive report is due Monday morning. Learn the terms this time. That afternoon's board meeting was tense. Patricia stood at the head of the table, calm and commanding. We're restructuring, she began. She presented new leadership roles, client renewals, and performance-based shares. Her uncle sat in icy silence as she replaced them with independent directors. This is unprecedented, Uncle Robert protested. Reynolds has always operated by consensus. Patricia's voice was steel, and that consensus nearly destroyed us. If you disagree, sell your shares. I'll buy them. No one spoke. No one left. When the meeting ended, her father lingered behind. The tension between them was heavy but quieter now. I underestimated you, he said finally. I thought you needed protection. Patricia gathered her papers. I didn't need protection. I needed respect. He nodded slowly. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. She looked up, her voice even. Then remember that next time you consider who deserves your legacy. 6 months later, the West Side Hotel ballroom glowed with warm golden light as Reynolds Architectural Solutions celebrated its highest profit in history. Patricia stood on stage, addressing her team. The architectural models displayed around the room reflected years of her dedication. A company isn't just blueprints, she said. It's people and principles. It's standing your ground when others try to move you. Her father and sister sat in the front row, watching silently. Reynolds isn't just a family company, she continued. It's built on recognizing excellence, no matter who delivers it. That's the legacy I intend to build. The applause was thunderous. When she stepped down, Olivia approached with 2 glasses of champagne. Truce, she asked cautiously. Patricia raised an eyebrow. Have you finished reviewing the Matsumoto proposal? Olivia rolled her eyes but smiled. Yes, boss. All 47 pages. Patricia clinked her glass against hers. Then we have a temporary truce, renewable based on performance. Their father joined them, his voice softer than it had been in months. To family, he said, raising his glass. Patricia looked at him steadily. To earn respect. For a moment, their eyes met, old wounds and new understanding mingling quietly. To earn respect, he echoed. Patricia took a slow sip, feeling neither triumph nor bitterness, only clarity. Legacy wasn't inherited. It was reclaimed, one decision, one contract, one confrontation at a time. If you value stories of respect, dignity, and justice, please subscribe. It means more than you know, and it lets me keep sharing the lessons life has carved into me.